you're just absolutely scouring for all the stuff you can find to win the debate. Why wouldn't you? If you don't, then that's on you. And this is the difference between Michael Jordan fans and LeBron fans. Like, we came ready for war, prepared. I used every resource at my disposal. I put in the time. I made the sheets, and we won. And y'all are still mad about it. That's literally all this comes down to, right?
Deep in the heart of Texas.
We're in the business of winning.
Don't bet against me.
I don't bet anyway.
Lose your life.
All right, everybody, I got a good video for you today. I think you're all going to like it. I know a lot of you like the niche NBA basketball YouTube debate bro community. So we're going to get into it. But just to catch you up to speed, your boy's being accused of plagiarism. Your boy's being accused of being a schemer or something in debates, which I don't know how that's possible. We'll get into that. But apparently your boy is plagiarizing debates live on air. He's plagiarizing. I'm plagiarizing my debates. So I get sent this video last night, and Lamont and FYF have this new sponsor, Originality.ai, and they ran the debate I had over a year ago with Johnny and myself about MJ versus LeBron, and apparently I plagiarized my debate, and I've been exposed, I've been found out, and so we're going to watch the video, we're going to go through it. I got a subscription to that Originality.ai website, so we're going to run some of the same things they did through it. We're going to see what happens. And so I'm going to show all my work. We're going to go through the AI platform, and there's a couple things I want people to keep in mind as we go forward. Number one is going to be the most important, and people need to keep this in mind. I brought up a second ago the logic with plagiarism and debates on YouTube. Keep in mind, no one here is calling me wrong. No one here is calling me factually wrong, statistically wrong. They're not saying that any of the things I have said in debates are wrong. No one's made a video about how things I've said are factually wrong. This and the next point that goes into this is that Lamont or someone from FYF commented on this video after it was a year old, or it was like 6 months old, right? So they came back to it after a long time, and they had said, oh, essentially, like, you're wrong, I'll debate you. Or not, maybe not I'll debate you, but you're wrong. I could show you why you're wrong, why your logic's wrong. And so I essentially told him, I was like, one thing I hate is like just typing in the comments all day when people know I will debate them on air, right? So I essentially said, like, you can find my email on my page. You can reach out to me. We know tons of people in common. It's really not hard to do. Nothing, of course, right? Nothing. And so now it's like over a year, and he comes back to the same video. And why I'm making this another point, along with the fact that no one is saying I'm wrong, is early in this video, he kind of mentions how there is a vested interest in the thing I kind of joked about, the niche NBA YouTube basketball debate bro community. And he's kind of saying how there's a lot of people that watch and all this kind of stuff. And so I think people need to keep that in mind, that to other people, and this is not a knock on them, I'm just saying it is what it is, because they put a lot of work into their channel. Their channel is a big part of like their image or their personality or their life, however you put it. Same with mine, not to the same degree, but I'm almost giving them kudos. They put a lot of work and time into their channels, right? They just do. They have a good community, what have you. They put out a lot of content. Me, not so much as of late. Sorry about that. But that is to say this. This is a big part of other people's lives, or it means things to them more than someone like me. I started doing my channel making edits during COVID when I was bored, and it's blossomed or blossomed. It's turned into this, this debating, a little bit of trolling, some edits here and there, Sunday live streams, right? This, some like doing some like betting, football betting here and there with my friends, wiffle ball, the kind of stuff going around doing, right? It's just something I do for fun. It can be taken away. I would not like it to, or it could turn into 1 million subs. Like for me, my mentality is like it's just something I do for fun, right? Take it or leave it. It's not, I don't get income off of this. It's strictly a hobby for fun because I love sports, mainly basketball. And so keep that in mind. I'm the guy who just walks in, shows up, wins debates, and leaves. Right? I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but remember, to them, they're coming back to this video now for a second time. And apparently this time, again, this debate was not on FYF's channel. In Lamont's own words, the company came to him with this video specifically and said, "We'll run this through the AI." Those are his words. We're gonna get to it. So, because when he put this video out, of course, your boy, commented. Which one was it? So again, I think this is, again, if this is all one big troll, then they got me, right? But whatever. It deserves a takedown either way, because to say I'm plagiarizing and stuff or what have you kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. We'll get into it. So I essentially said, did they run a Johnny's part through the program? And this is what he said. And dude, this channel is gonna take some turns. I hope you guys watch this channel or this video. He says, I didn't even do it. It was an ad sponsor that selected it and ran it through the engine. So we are now to believe, again, in his own words, there's people who have vested interest in these things, this debate bro, NBA basketball community, that, I just show up, wreck shop, and leave, right? Like, I have fun doing this. This is why this isn't going to work with me like it does other people. He's not taking any accountability. He's deflecting to the company, kind of a weasel move, to be honest. He said they selected it themselves. How many people believe that? How many people believe that someone at Originality.ai came to Lamont and said, I want to run this video of this NNB sports guy. He's making us all look bad. We can't be having any of this, right? So, he said, I didn't even do it as an ad sponsor, ran it through the engine, LOL. I just get paid to promote. Use my code, FYF. We'll even get to the code here in a second, which is kind of funny. So, and I said, it doesn't matter, because either way, like, I am not to believe that at random, this video, which, by the way, I'm not trying to brag, but I would say in terms of the MJ versus LeBron community, when I represent MJ, the MJ fans know that I am not like an MJ diehard, right? I just recognize how great he was, and I don't think LeBron is on the same level. Like, that's really all it is. That's what they hate. Because it's funny, because of all the LeBron haters, as they would call it, I'm the most apologetic and to the middle, right, and agreeable in some way. So it's funny he would come after me, right? So I have nothing other to believe than the fact that he commented on it. And now that he's coming back to it, he's not saying I'm wrong in any way. He's just running it through this AI, and apparently I've copied comments and whatnot from other people or something. We'll get into that. It makes me think these are sour grapes, man. This is just sour grapes. This is just a cope. It is nothing but sour grapes from the fact that when it comes from me representing the MJ community against the MJ haters of the LeBron fans, like I'm undefeated essentially, right? Like I've been in that debate thing with Dart where, I've kind of had to like take sides that, in any other setting, I wouldn't really like debate someone on them, right? And I didn't win that league. But anytime it's been the MJ versus LeBron thing, and I've represented MJ versus the LeBron, I mean, it's been a rout. It's a rout every single time. This is why, we all know that as LeBron fans, if there were really bad, embarrassing clips of me in debates specifically about MJ versus LeBron, then you know what I mean? Like, they would be clipped and they'd be all over the place, right? And the fact that they keep coming back to this video, and apparently the company came to them and said, we need to do a takedown on this guy. Like, it's not random, right? This video had to be picked for a reason. Just not buying it, right? So, and the fact that this wasn't on his channel, I don't think an ad sponsor would want to do a video that wasn't on his channel. I mean, that's not an impossibility, but so that's that, right? I don't believe that bullshit for a second.
And we're going to be talking about that today here on FYF Sportsman. Should be a good show for you guys today. But before we get started, y'all, I have to dedicate probably this first segment of the show, y'all, to a special sponsor, a very special sponsor. So y'all know that. I mean, and I told y'all, I always tell y'all that, you know, as we do these shows, there's a lot of people that watch. People tune in. They tune in to smaller shows, right? They tune in. They watch. A lot of people. There's more people than you think that are invested in this debate community. And it's not just with FYF. I mean, it's even with some of the smaller channels like Goat James Kingdom. We saw Gilbert Arenas. I mean, he's been on Michael Jordan's Fans Are the Best panel. He's been on, you know, A. Johnny's Goat James Kingdom's channel. I mean, he was even on the crossover when the crossover had a show here on FYF Sports. He even appeared on the crossover. I mean, so many people watch. And I think with so many eyes and ears and with us having these debates on these public platforms, man, you got to be careful with what you say in these debates. So the sponsor that
remember, okay, stop it here. Be careful about what you say in these debates. So again, I've kind of already told you the premise of the video, so he's going to accuse me of plagiarism here. So he is telling me essentially that I need to be careful about what I say in debates. And I don't know if anyone needs to know this, but in terms of debating the topic, I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want to say, as long as it's factually correct and it's within the realms of the topic and I'm not being rude or something, right? Remember, he's not calling me wrong. What do I need to be careful about saying? What? That Jordan didn't average the stats that he averaged, that Jordan didn't actually achieve the things he achieved, and that when I compare stat A to stat B, that they aren't what I'm looking at on the paper when I bring it up in the debate, or that I saw a good argument that on Reddit, and so I was like, I can't wait to use that in a debate. That's a good one. Why didn't I think of that? You know, like, what do I need to be careful about saying? Because I'm not wrong. I'm not going to be called wrong in this video in terms of factually wrong, right? And remember, he admits it that there are a lot of people who have a vested interest in this NBA debate bro community. Why? I don't know. Why do people care so much, or why is it such a big deal that I need to watch what I say if it's not factually wrong? You know, like, again, this just comes off like sour grapes. It comes off like we lost a debate and we haven't gotten over it yet, over a year later. That's what it comes off to me.
that we have today, and obviously they took note. We were one of the first channels, if not the first. We were probably the first channel to start incorporating ChatGPT into sports talks.
And for the record, anyone wants to know, I've never used ChatGPT ever. I've never asked Grok a question. The only thing I've ever used any kind of AI or any kind of assistance for like that is the video I did, the delusions in sports, and I had a free AI generated website make a basketball cathedral image from my background. That's it. All my edits, all my videos, my clips, even the ones that are just strictly edits and are clipped from everywhere, never used AI or any kind of tool like that. I'm going to show you guys all my work, all the shit I've written down and copy. Yeah, I copy paste shit from places and I put it in my, Microsoft Word doc so it's ready for me to go, and I organize it how I need to. Sometimes I break it down by category, timeline, stats. It just depends what I'm arguing. And I'll show you guys all my work, the Excel sheets, all that stuff, right? I've never used ChatGPT, never used any kind of AI assistance, especially in debates. I've never used any kind of help other than stuff I've looked up myself and then used.
And
on that, one thing they also say I don't like is they think that I'm just arguing against LeBron to hate LeBron. And I kind of said earlier that I'm the most to the center of LeBron than what they would call the LeBron haters. I'm the most to the center and most apologetic about LeBron. And so, it's just interesting that they would pick this. This just comes off like they've lost a debate and they just can't get over it, and that's really all I can take it as.
Somebody from the marketing team of this company caught wind of it. Obviously, they watch sports, they watch the show, and they said, who better to partner with than FYF Sports? I mean, they ultimately use ChatGPT. They use AI to kind of help siphon through all of this basketball information.
Funny, I don't do that. I don't do that, bro. Just FYI.
So we got to give a shout out to a company that's now sponsoring FYF Sports. They are called Originality.ai. Salute to Originality.
We got a membership. We're going to use it. Stay tuned.
AI. It's a company that I mean, they do literally everything. They are the number one in the game when it comes to checking for plagiarism, right?
Number one.
AI checker ranks number one in the world. Their plagiarism checker ranks number in the world. Their fact checker ranks number one in the world, and it lets you publish all content with integrity, right? And they say at Originality AI, we provide a complete tool set that will help website owners, content marketers, writers, and publishers hit publish with integrity in the world of generative AI, man. And to give you guys an example of what they can do.
Notice he didn't have an account, which I don't know. Figured maybe he would.
You know, and this is what amazed me. To give you guys an example of what they can do. They actually, because they watch these debates, and it wasn't even a debate on my.
Here, let me slow it down. We'll watch them in real time. I have it on 1.25 just make it go faster. Just kind of watch them. I don't know.
In the world of,
again, doesn't have an account. Just pointing it out.
Of generative AI, man. And to give you guys an example of what they can do.
He's gonna remember. The example being presented to us is one that Originality.ai brought to him, according to him. Not him. He didn't come up with this. Not the channel that he commented on months and months and months after it happened, you know, saying, "Oh, you were wrong," but never wanted to debate me or correct the record or anything. Now he's saying this is just the guy. These guys just brought this debate to him. Okay.
You know, and this is what amazed me. To give you guys an example of what they can do. They actually, because they watched these debates, and it wasn't even a debate on my channel. They just brought it to my attention.
Wow.
But they said they even.
What are the odds?
Even use their software, Originality AI, during one of the debates between two people that are in some sense closely connected to FYF Sports. Let me put it up on the screen here because we're going to play that segment. And what they said was, you know, when the guy said he was listening to the debate, he was saying, I'm listening to it. And he was saying to himself, this don't sound original, right? You know, he's one of the programmers for.
This is what the company brought to him. That's what they said. They said, hey, bro, this NNB sports guy in this debate doesn't sound right. That's what the marketer at Originality.ai. Again, this could all be true. I would love to talk to the guy that he talked to at Originality.ai. Whoever his point of contact is that sold him on all this and got him in. Would love to talk to that guy. Would absolutely love to talk to that guy.
Originality AI. You know, they you know, it's their job to be able to detect these things. And it's their job for their software to also further detect these things when somebody is completely plagiarizing from somewhere else. And he said when he was listening to this guy debate.
Remember, I'm not plagiarizing a thesis paper on the Industrial Revolution and how it affected humans post 19th century or whatever. We're talking about a live debate on camera. That is what I'm plagiarizing the points that I'm making.
He basically said it don't sound original, it don't sound authentic or organic.
Yo, dude, this company has a hitman after me, dog. They're trying to take me down, bro. Originality.ai and me got some beef all of a sudden.
And when they took the transcript from what he said,
hey, that guy at Originality.ai, if you hear this, if you see this, you mad, bro? You can debate me too if you want some of the smoke. I'll bring all the originality you want. Whatever you want to debate, we can do it.
They found is going to amaze you. What we're going to do is we're going to play the segment from the debate. Let me put it on the screen so I can share the debate with you guys. And again, we got to give a big shout out to Originality AI, right, for being able to expose this information. And we have a special coupon code for you guys once we get through this to share with you guys, because once y'all see this, everybody's going to want to use Originality AI going forward. This just shows you the power of what their service can do. Let me share my screen really quick.
Remember, number one AI in the world, or plagiaristic AI in the world, or whatever that spiel he was given. Number one. So it's got to be good.
And so what they did was they found a debate, right?
Randomly.
On Go James Kingdom channel. And luckily they found it on Goat James Kingdom channel. They see Goat James Kingdom on FYF Sports all the time. They saw this video. This is the video that they showed me. And
does anyone believe this? I mean, again, this could be true. You know, I reserve the right to hedge my bet. But does anyone believe this, that this is how this video came about to them in the AI system? And remember, I'm going to take exactly what I see on his screen. Exactly what I see on his screen. And we're going to compare it. And we're going to run it through that exact same Originality.ai. We're going to see what it says.
Goat James Kingdom was debating someone by the name of NNB Sports.
Like he don't know who I am. Someone, you know.
And what they want y'all to focus on is obviously his entire debate was questionable, but it's this opening that they said they wanted to focus on. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the beginning of this debate. We want to hear the opening argument from NNB Sports. And then I want to show you guys what the people at Originality AI found after listening and running his opening through their AI software. Let's go ahead and check it out. And I want you guys to pay attention to.
I'm going to fast forward through this part because this is just the debate part. It's not really relative. I think he makes a few comments here and there, so I'm just going to speed through it. The first round, just 3 minutes for me.
This, like I said, we're going to get through this and then we're going to get to the main topic of the show. But let me go ahead and play it for you guys. If you guys have trouble with the sound, let me know. But I think the sound should be fine. We're going to go ahead and play the beginning of this. Salute to Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best channel. I think he's working diligently behind the scenes to get his channel back up and going. So hopefully we can see him and those guys back up in the YouTube's landscape pretty soon here going forward, once they're able to get things resolved behind the scenes. But let me go ahead and play this for you guys really real quick right here. This is a debate between NNB Sports and Goat James Kingdom, but the focus right now, according to Originality AI, is going to be on NNB Sports opening statements.
And today,
so he mentions how I'm looking up, right? Like I'm literally looking at the exact same Microsoft Word document I typed out for that entire debate. And just so y'all can see it, these are all the documents. You can see when they were last updated as well. So I have not gone in and like recently today. That's a different one. I've not recently gone in today. You can see these are all from over a year ago. I've not gone in today and changed any of this, edited any of it. You know what I mean? Like these are the original documents from when I had the debate. And you can read some of the first words there on it, just so you can see, because you're gonna see me later put this into the Originality.ai, right? So if you guys just kind of want to see it for fun. And I also have another video that I'm going to play right now, or in the background at some point while I was at work. I have this other notepad on my phone, and I have like notes there for the Manziel debate that I did, Manziel Vince Young. I did like an NBA Finals debate. You can see I keep notes on my debates, and I'm scrolling through them, and you can just see the absolute number of stats and stuff that I've gone through and collected, right? And so this is kind of where we get into this weird, the plagiarism accusations, right? And because this is what I'm saying, like I have nothing to hide. This is not that serious to me. Like for these guys, this is like their reputation and whatnot online. For me, like I'm just having a debate. It's not that serious. And I'll be the first to tell you, like, so specifically in terms of this Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate, and again, this is at a time as well, right, when I had started doing more debates. I started doing like a few more back and forths. Like even me and Robin from Sports and Fitness Rants did that one for fun, like Jason Kidd and Steve Nash, right? I'm just like, right now, if you guys remember, like a year and a half ago, I was making videos pretty regularly, right? I was doing a lot of research. I did the whole MJ LeBron video after this debate, you know, like the final nail in the coffin. I did the whole LeBron versus MJ shooting, right? We can show that one here as well. Let's see, which one was it? I mean, you guys remember this, so it's kind of silly that I have to like go back and do this. These are all the stats I did for like their shooting percentages through the years. And again, these numbers for Jordan, I even admitted, like, I had to go back. I found this old ass ESPN magazine in which some guy on a message board had gone back and photocopied, the pages, and so like you could see what they were doing, and you could take the stats that way, just because it's not anywhere else like in a database or anything like that, right? So it's like this gray area of where do we get our stats from. If you're gonna get mad that, I mean, look at all this stuff. Like, you think I plagiarized all this? You think I plagiarized all these stats? All these things right here. Like, even if I copy and pasted this, that's still a lot of work, right? And so here's just the whole debate, right? You can, if you want to pause the video and look through this as we go down. I mean, this is the, look at this. I have 15 pages of this Excel. You know what I mean? Like this. In what I don't like about them is they're twisting it that I do this. I first of all, I like to debate. Like, this is fun for me. I'm a little bit of a nerd, I guess. I like stats and stuff like that. I like the game of basketball in a nerd way as well too. The history of it, the chronological order of things, right, is very interesting to me. As with anything anyone would be interested in, right? And so they see this and they think I do this simply because I hate LeBron, right? That, again, we literally had a live stream where a guy said he's surprised I had an opinion on LeBron at all because I'm white and I can't have an opinion on LeBron or something like that, or it shouldn't even concern me, right? Like, these guys just don't want any sort of like galvanized pushback from someone like me. I just walk on, debate, win and leave, right? Like, and I guess they don't like that. It's easy for me. This is fun for me. Like, this is what I'm saying. We're like, these guys are trying to, how do I put this? These guys are trying to, like, in terms of the tactics they're using right now, they're trying to debate a brick wall. Like, what are you even trying to do right now? Like, it's just silly all around, right? I'll just keep going down. You guys can stop and look. And a lot of these I got from my own subscribers. Tons of these people, tons of you guys sent me in unbelievable amount of stats and things I had never heard before. All these little niches. Like, yeah, see, look, I was looking up. I even put the link. I don't even give a fuck, right? Like, does Scottie Pippen always guard the other team's best player? Let's see. Let me get a. And then look, it goes through it, and what do you have here? Wow, look at all this. Look at all this great statistical data we can pull from. That is Jordan versus Pippen, series by series of playoffs in terms of the best person they guarded the most. And I went through this. I've double checked this. This all essentially checks out. There might be one or two that are, you could say, like, what were really the minutes they were guarding and stuff. But this is just their assignments, right? And so you can go through and compare all these people if you want. Is that, am I, what is that? You want to say that I'm cheating or something? What's another one? So yeah, these are just defensive stats. Again, things I'm putting on here. Best perimeter defender of all time. It's an article I linked. Who cares? What do you think you're exposing here? Look at all these notes, man. And this is what I've compiled into a debate for when I go and whatever I'm needing at the time, I have it here. It's really not that big of a conspiracy, or it's not even really that egregious of a foul. Look at all this. And look, this is even, I was breaking down, someone made a good explanation of, like, efficiency field goal and field goal, so I put it in there real quick, It's just silly. Let's see. This is then the Excel sheet I made for the final video of, like, the Jordan versus LeBron comparison. You want to look at all this, where essentially I go through list by list, line by line, of all the things they had done. This is, again, a year and a half ago, right? So some of these have changed, but where they ranked all time, win shares, box plus minus, the advanced metrics on the side there. Again, is this all, again, I pulled this from Reddit, I pulled this from Basketball Reference, I pulled this from articles, message boards. I double check, make sure it's right. If I can't confirm something, then I don't put it in. And number of all-stars they played with, against. Here's some more links down here. StatHead link, Wikipedia link. Again, Wikipedia's got tons of shit on it for player by player, right? So you know, and how LeBron is the only one to miss the playoffs with an all-star on his team. Not that that matters or is relevant, right? So I just want to show this, right? Like, again, I'm not wrong. The accusation here is not that I'm wrong. It's that I am taking quotations and stats and things of that nature from other places and then using it. And to that I say guilty as charged. You still lost the debate. You can still cope about it. I don't really give a shit. You know, you still lost. You still got the floor wiped with you. That's why we're back here again. That's why we're back. And where, as Thanos, you know, famously said, and where did that lead you? Right back to me, right? Like, I just debate and win, and they can't take that. They put all this time and effort into their channels, days, hours, weeks, months out of the year. And what happens? Some guy in a boating Mavericks hat and a stupid Hawaiian shirt just shows up on stream and wins, right? And it's just because I just debate better, right? It's really nothing more than that. And don't get it twisted, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm the most studious person of the game of all time, but I know the game. I played, I've watched it forever. I still watch it now. You know, obviously I love the stats, I love the numbers, right? It's like, obviously someone like me has to have some bearing of history of basketball and like what it's like, right? So again, this is just one big coat, one big, you know, sour grapes. Hold on, let me see if there's anything else, any other ones I missed. Another one I had made for the MJ debate. This one's only 7 pages, you know, so I apologize about that. I mean, look at this. But whatever, right? Let's keep going. So again, if pulling stats and insight and talking points from the internet and then using that in my debate is a crime, I'm guilty. But again, we all know it. That's not really what this is about. And in terms of me, again, I'll make it very clear. I've never used Chat GPT. No one has ever written anything for me in my debates. So I want to make that 100% clear. All the things you just saw are from 2023. That's what I'm looking at right now on the screen.
That's a reach out. This content right here is sponsored by Get to one mic in the chat. He said that's a reach out. This content right here is sponsored by Originality.ai.
See, even someone in his own chat is saying this is a reach, right? Because look, at the end of the day, look, say what you want. That's me on camera. Rather, you could even if I say I use Chat GPT, okay, so somehow then Chat GPT gave me some perfectly formulated answer for the exact topic I was debating a Johnny on, and it just also so happened to use all of these comments from Reddit that, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense, right? So this is where they're right, or, you know, they're like saying what they're accusing me is like, I guess true, but it's not. It doesn't have any weight. No one cares. Anyone who knows anything about live debates on YouTube does not give a shit about what you're talking about right now. You just have sour grapes, you know? You guys lost. And by the way, you guys can come get round 2 whenever you want, right? Like, I'm always down to debate whatever it is, you know. I think that's pretty clear. So why this? And saying that company brought it to him, I still highly suspect.
This is information that they brought to me, and they wanted me to use this to help demonstrate the power of their software. We got to give a shout out to Originality AI for coming through, so sponsoring the channel, and also sponsoring this segment where we're showing you guys how their service works, and how thorough it is when it comes to identifying fraudulent material, man. But we got to listen to
what is fraudulent. Again, the only thing you could be mad at for me here is that, like, before I went into the debate, I didn't cite my work for you. How often does that happen in debates, though? Right? Is what I'm saying true or not? That's really all it boils down to. And lastly, right, another thing I want to say is doing, you know, the whole thing about live debates and plagiarism kind of just doesn't make any sense, because, like, really at the end of the day, the person here has to come on and be factually correct of what they're saying. So relying on Chat GPT and stuff like that would not be a good idea. I hate to tell people, but AI is not always correct. And then I have to go on camera, formulate that idea, express it, put it in such a way and deliver it with a nice bow on top where people can follow, they understand the arguments, the leverages I'm trying to make, etc. Right? That's why it doesn't hold this plagiarism claim doesn't hold any water, because it has no bearing on what we are watching right now. It really doesn't change the outcome at all. is what he's saying true in debating it? Well, then it's your job to disprove it. That's really what it boils down to. And again, I showed all my work. So this is original. This is me. This is what I'm doing. And I've already told the extent of what I do is I just search the internet for shit to say and stats and
To
all
this
kinds of
segment.
shit. There is, I don't know if people know this, there is so much out there, especially in terms of the Michael Jordan LeBron debate, especially. There's still articles and shit out there I haven't read and seen and stuff like that, right? About Jordan or LeBron. After doing days of research and scouring the internet, right? There's still stuff out there I haven't seen. Am I allowed to use it or not, you know?
Salute again. We got Goat James Kingdom in the building. I want y'all to listen to this segment. We got to give a big shout out to Originality.ai. They recognized us for our use of AI software in these sports debates. They thought it would make a great partnership, and
It's funny they didn't recognize me for my AI my AI deployment of it or the use of it.
they are using this particular segment to showcase the power of their software. Again, so give shout out to Originality AI. We'll have a special discount code for you guys if you want the service, if you want to use it, if you want to look into it. There is a coupon code that you can use that we will giving you guys once we get through this particular segment. But we're going to get to NNB Sports opening, and then we're going to show you the breakdown from Originality AI. We gotta pause it right there real quick. And I'm only pausing it right there real quick because obviously we have other topics on this show that we want to address that we're going to be talking about today. But that opening statement,
just the first segment of mine, just the first segment.
And you know, as some of you guys mentioned in the chat, following his eyes, it looked like, and again, when you do these debates, I expect people to come prepared. I don't mind people that are reading from a script and reading from a screen. If you put together an authentic, original argument and you need to write it down.
I believe I've shown that. It was an authentic document that I made, put the shit all together myself, put it in myself, organized it myself.
So you can keep your thoughts organized. I'm all for that. But I think it was very obvious that my guy was definitely reading from something. He was definitely getting information from something, right? And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to study. We're supposed to get information. But are we supposed to just directly rip from other people's takes and pretend that they're our own takes? Or are we supposed to incorporate it into what we know? Remember what I talked to you guys about.
All right, so this is also not understanding debates. What do you think is the most scripted part of a debate? It is the opening and the closing. You get an opening statement and a closing statement, right? If you guys watch my debates, the main thing I do in debates, one of my big things is first of all, I like to go first, always. You guys know that. It's a strategy. I like to set the table. I like to try and get the other person to follow me, waste time on what I say, and I'm already on to the next round. Does that make sense? That's how I like to try and play the game. I don't have to go first, but I think going first for people who are not perhaps more seasoned at debating and staying on topic, I think going first is a huge advantage because they're going to start paying attention to all the stuff you say instead of focusing on what they wanted to open with to present to the people, right? So from that stance alone, yes, the entire first 3 minutes of my debates, or the first opening round essentially, are almost always to a T written down to the exact second or 10-second mark of the time that I'm getting. Like, again, this is what I don't understand. It's like, yes, I got to go first. What is the best thing I could do in 3 minutes? Write a 3-minute intro in which I try to get across my points and the main things I want to start off with, and fulfilling that time as much as possible. To a T, I'm trying to use every second. Big shocker. I know it's crazy for some people. Then what I was going to say is, so I'll go and then a Johnny will go. What I will do in the middle of the debate, you can go watch it. I always keep a piece of paper. I listen to things that they say. I write it down. And before I start my next round, I immediately, off the top of my dome, I go boom, 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 boom. The things that you said here, I disagree. Maybe you're right on that. I think you had a good point on that. Something like that. Like, I try to keep it quick because I want to get back to the second round that I have probably scripted out. And this is where, I'm not sure what to say to this. I'm not sure if these people have ever really truly debated before. they just get into yelling matches on, you know, voice calls or something. Like, these are planned debates, right? If you guys remember when I debated Tug, he shot himself in the foot because he thought he was just going to come in willy-nilly, insult me, or say, just go look at my channel, and that was going to win a debate. That's not how it works. Now, I'll also go on panels and just shoot the shit and shoot from the hip, all kinds of stuff too, right? So, again, these accusations, in my opinion, really fall flat.
Remember when I talked about Mars and his debate? I said Mars uses the stats and analytics as the argument. He doesn't use them to support an argument. And I think the same thing was going on here. And I think it was one of the reasons why in this debate, NMB Sports was not even debating the topic.
I don't even, this is where I'm not even sure they're listening to me, right? I'm kind of reading my opening statement. I don't want to go back over the debate. It's not the point. But again, what was the point I was trying to, he's not even listening to the arguments, right? He's not even listening to, again, he's saying you have to use the stats to make your argument, not let it be the argument. 100%. What was my argument? Peak versus longevity. What was I quoting? I was quoting Jordan's peaks. I was quoting the certain things that he has done in 11 full healthy seasons during his peak that we get to compare with versus LeBron. That's what my entire argument was. And I do stats to then back it up. See, all they're hearing is just numbers. They're not listening to the logic I'm building up. Where am I going? I told you what I was going to tell you, and then I told you it was stats, and then I brought it back to why the whole thing I think that Michael Jordan is better is peak dominance in an era versus LeBron's longevity. That is the crux of the Jordan-LeBron argument from my point of view that I'm bringing to the table. That's what the entire opening was about. And again, the opening goes by and he's just like, I have no idea, you know, he's not making good arguments. And it's like, well, if you're just not even going to fucking listen, then, you know, there's no helping you. I'm talking to a brick wall now.
He was so set on just gathering up a whole bunch of information that just
guilty as charged
goes against LeBron James that he got far removed from the actual topic of the show. And I think in that process of just gathering information, what he ultimately also did was, and let me share my screen to show this for you as well. What he ultimately also did was he also never created anything that could be considered as an original work, right? And
so here's where we get into the plagiarism thing. What is the originality that you want from me? Because every stat of Jordan came before my debate time. All of his accomplishments came before my debate time. You know, like before I watched Jordan, I know of Jordan, but before I started making these debates, right, Jordan's career was final and done, right? All the info that you could essentially want from him from a basketball perspective, even as an owner, had already been played out. It's all been, you know, that at least that time in history, not counting him now coming back to broadcast, you know, that's been cemented. That is what it is. There really is no changing that. And so what am I allowed to talk about, right? Like, I make several arguments in this debate, right? I make the argument that his peak of dominance was greater in terms of the way he dominated the league, correct? His two-way dominance I bring up, and then I bring up stats and things like that. So this is where you're not listening, right? And I can't help you if you're not even going to give me a charitable interpretation of what I'm saying, or if you're not even listening at all. There's nothing I can do. And so you literally are just saying, like, he threw so much stuff at me that it just sounded as if he himself could not have written an opening that good. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. Thank you to Originality.ai. Thank you to FYF. Thank you to all the haters who literally saw this and they said, this opening was so spot on. It was so good that it actually sounded fake. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I wrote that with these 8 fingers here, just so you guys know. I wrote that myself. I really appreciate the compliment.
And that's what the people of Originality.ai, this is what they do, right?
Thank you to all my haters at Originality.ai as well.
They are able to
all right, continue.
Content, whether it's written works, whether it's publications for news sites, whether it's you speaking on a podcast. What they did was just to show us the power of Originality.ai. Let me show y'all this comprehensive report that they did where they took the transcript of his opening and they literally broke it down. And let me show you guys this. Let me show you guys really quick Let me share my screen. Here's the report that they sent me. And whenever you get a report from Originality.ai, they do a good job of breaking down that report into a PDF file. And let me share this with you. And this is what they sent me right here.
Plagiarism checker AI. So this is what the document looks like. And just so everyone knows, so we're going to get into, this is the website, the Originality.ai website. And I got into it. I've looked at all the things or some of the things, like the first 5 or 6 things. I put them in word for word, what he had on this sheet here that we're looking at, right? So, by the way, this is a pretty cheap thing. You get I paid $30, and like, hey, if they got me for $30, guys, you know what I mean? Then I'm the sucker, right? I'm the sucker. Also, for the record, just so we're all clear, when I was going to sign up, hang on one second. What do I gotta do here? Their coupon code didn't work, bro. I tried to get a discount and your coupon code didn't work. I even tried, and just to be fair, like there's other, again, I did just pay as you go, so maybe their code doesn't apply to that one. I tried to do the pro, the enterprise, the pay as you go, all for a year, right? Because he said you get 4 months free, and I tried every single way, and this code didn't work in any of them. I'm just saying again, the guy randomly brought this video to him, apparently from Originality.ai. I'd love to meet that guy if he's real, and the code didn't work. So hey, let's continue, right? We're just getting, this is a great video. So I got into this website. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Why would people challenge me like this? Sometimes I just wonder. So here, this is the website, Originality.ai. You see it up there. I paid $30. I got some credits. I can send it. This is how you do it. You run the text, right? So I want to make sure I show you guys I did my work on the, well, let's just, first of all, remember what that report looked like that he showed you, right? Remember that report. Now, is this the one that I did? Yes. This is what the report looks like on my end when I get a report. Now, again, if it's true that the guy on the inside came to him, maybe he sent them some kind of just really basic documents they print out on their end. Again, his says this is what his looks like. Plagiarism checker AI. This is what mine looks like from that same website. And I went to YouTube. I got the chat transcript. Here's the entire chat transcript. Here's the entire chat transcript from my first round debate on YouTube. This is what it gave him, or this is what it gave me. So I'm not sure what to. This is the thing. This is why it's so funny, because I'll admit to you guys that yes, I scour the internet for talking points and good comebacks and stats and things I've never heard, and oh, this specific playoff series in this game they did this thing that no one's, like I don't know every single fucking thing about every single fucking thing, right? No one does. And as much as a fucking NBA historian and fucking hoophead or whatever you want to fucking be, you just can't know everything, right? And so in a debate, you're fucking, sorry to cuss so much. It's late at night. You're just absolutely scouring for all the stuff you can find to win the debate. Why wouldn't you? If you don't, then that's on you. And this is the difference between Michael Jordan fans and LeBron fans. Like, we came ready for war, prepared. I used every resource at my disposal. I put in the time. I made the sheets, and we won. And y'all are still mad about it. That's literally all this comes down to, right? So look, again, we're going to get further into this. I don't know how this works, right? So I did this, right? And I get plagiarism, which the plagiarism, by the way, was, let us click on it. So yeah, look, this is one of them. Obviously, this is not some kind of Michael Jordan thing. It's some kind of Marcus again. So here's a mishap. They got this one wrong, or it's not exactly completely totally accurate. And then what was the other one? LA Data News, New Orleans Data News Weekly. This is the other. When I put the chat transcript in, all right, the whole first round that I just had, this is what it came to. These are the two references it gave me. It looks totally different from his. You can see I did it, today. That's a timestamp. So let's just keep going. This is what his looks like.
So they sent me a breakdown.
Full evaluation of NMBs. Can't even got that right. So I don't know who this guy is who's sending you this stuff, but whatever.
Of the opening, right? And hopefully you guys can see this. I'll zoom in a little bit more if you cannot see it. So this is a comprehensive plagiarism report on NNB Sports opening. All right. This was conducted by their plagiarism checker in June 2025. So all right. Now, they did a summary score. Total plagiarism detected in his opening statement was at 71%. There was 37% exact plagiarism, 34% partial plagiarism, and only 29% of his opening statement was original content. And we can assume that 29% was probably towards the end, or even the beginning when he was kind of talking about Ajani and just kind of introducing himself in. But when we go to the
I also did the same, like whenever because I want the AI to focus on like the things we're saying, the substance of what we're saying. So I also did the same, like once I had done my intro, and then I said, as usual, as you saw at the beginning of the Word document, it said, as usual with this debate, I think it's about peak versus longevity. And you can see that's where I start it with in the AI program as well.
Meat and bones of what he was saying. It literally broke down, and it also tells you where he stole and ripped the information from verbatim. And it tells you what is exact plagiarism and what's not. And so it basically says, it basically breaks down all the sections of where he was talking. It says each.
So now if you notice, they didn't do the full chat transcript. They have picked out specific things I've said, and we're also going to do a little bit of we're going to look at exactly what I said in the chat transcript versus what they put here.
From the start of his opening, it says this is going to be peak.
And then we're gonna get into these links. We're gonna actually go check these links out they gave us and see where they go.
Peak dominance versus longevity and accumulation argument. They said that's exact plagiarism.
Okay. I'm gonna step back for just a second, right? And I want you to tell me how point 1 is plagiarism. This is going to be a peak and dominance versus longevity and accumulation argument. Does anyone really think I ripped that from somewhere on the internet? And even if I did, so what? It has no bearing on the debate. And I didn't rip it from anywhere. I've been making this argument for years now, right? About that's how I see. I'm telling you now, like it doesn't matter if it's somewhere else or not. That's my argument. Defeat my argument.
Jason Kidd has more threes than Dirk, Page, Carmelo, and Durant, and he is not a better shooter. Both of those came directly, and they are exactly word for word verbatim from Reddit. He ripped.
All right, let's pull up this link. Let's pull up this link. We have to do this right, bro. We have to do this right. So everyone can see that, right? Everyone can see that website. That's what he put on there, right? Everyone agrees. I did this earlier. YQW6T8. Jason Kidd has more threes than Dirk, Page, and Durant. Right. Remember, this is a different paper than what it looked on mine as well. Keep that in mind. And this is the website here. You guys can go look at his video and double check me and all that stuff. Where are we going? What is this? Someone selling Jordan 4s and midnight dunks. I don't know what this is. This is where it takes me. This is the paper he pulled up on me. This is the website. If I got something wrong, maybe I did. Let's try another one. Right? Let's try it. Maybe he thought I wouldn't do this. I don't even know.
Ripped it word for word from Reddit. Not a change talking points he used. Again, he stole somebody else's.
What's crazy is like they even changed up. They even changed up a lot of the wording I had in these. So if you go through, And we'll do it in a second, but I want to make clear before we keep going, right? We're gonna pull up these websites and how silly they are. Remember, these are the most egregious ones too. So we're doing the what should be the worst. I mean, obviously, if like the worst case falls through, then you kind of look stupid already to begin with. I'm not sure if I need to go through all the other ones, but even the other ones you can tell are just links to articles and stuff. Like, of course, there's some kind of matching there. Uh, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I go through and I'm also looking at some of the things he put in here, and they're condensing or not condensing. They're making sure that from what I said in the actual chat transcript that I copied down, which is what you guys already saw. And by the way, you guys can go to my video, get the chat transcript, and if you want to freeze frame what I showed and zoom in, it is word for word essentially. The only thing I would do is add like commas or periods, kind of punctuations, stuff like that. And that was the whole thing. And we'll get to, I got even more exact to make the burden of proof even heavier on myself. What they do here in some of these things. So first of all, I'm not even sure what to think, right? Because like this whole Jason Kidd has made more threes than a lot of people, right? That's a pretty popular talking point. Like it's a good one to bring up. It's like Frank Gore has more rushing yards than Barry Sanders, something like that, or Adrian Peterson. It's these very, like, again, they're very basic logical arguments. What is the point of this argument? The point of this argument is to prove that accumulation is not what separates you in terms of being a better player, which is so funny because all they kept saying was, I'm bringing up stats to just try and overwhelm them or something, or make the argument about stats. No, I'm using specific stats with specific context in terms of what I'm trying to argue and make my point, right? And that's what I'm doing, and you're just not getting it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm literally like Hansel and Greteling, leaving breadcrumbs out for you to just simply eat and follow to understand what I'm trying to tell you, and you're just like, I don't get it. And it's so I have nothing for you. All right. So also what they were doing is that they were minimizing, or I said condensing earlier, but they were. So the chat transcript would say something like, he has 19 All-NBA first teams versus LeBron's 18, whatever it was, right? Something like that. And what they would do when they put it in the chat transcript or here is they would sub it out and they would make it specifically say, and they would make it as simple as possible. So it would say something like, Michael Jordan has 18 first teams and LeBron has 17 first teams, or whatever it is, right? How many times do you think that's been quoted on a Reddit board, message board, right? Or some kind of NBA forum or YouTube channel or something like that, right? Probably tons of times. So this is why this is silly, right? These arguments and certain things get brought up often because they are there, because they must be a good illustration of a point people are trying to make, right? So again, the whole plagiarism in a debate argument really is a nothing burger. It really does fall flat.
His take to completely use it as his own talking point, which
again, you want to accuse me of taking a talking point or something I saw on a message board and adopting it as my own in a live debate? Guilty. 100%. Absolutely. I mean, we all hear something like, you do not come across anything without someone else or some other forum or medium having introduced it to you first, right? So it's almost like a weird, by default, you're not allowed to say anything, right? Because everything came from someone else, right? We are building a debate versus another person's debate. As long as what we are using is fair game, it is factually correct, it is allowed to be entered into the arena. You want a citation? That's fine. I'll give it to you.
Again, have your own takes, be original, right? Don't rip from Reddit.
No one has original takes, essentially, right? There's some people who theoretically were like the first one to point it out or find this or that, but no one has original takes for the most part. Some people might have original lines of thinking or argumentation or something like that, or a different spin on things. But everyone kind of falls into a category or something we've heard before, or I like the post game versus the 3-point shot. I like the slow them down, grind it out, 24-second shot clock, half court offense versus the fast break transition. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has takes that are essentially a derivative of something else.
All right, hold on, y'all. We got to get the spammers up out of here, y'all.
Or even an identical carbon copy.
And so when we go to the next one, Robert Parrish has more points than Wade, Bird, McGrady, and Anthony Davis. Right? He says he is not a better scorer. That's also ripped and sourced directly from Reddit. You guys, and when you go to Originality,
let's go to this Reddit. This is what I mean. It's like I'm sort of weirdly, giving away, not giving away the secrets. You guys already knew what I was doing. For those of you with two brain cells to rub together, but this is what I mean. Where even when they try to give me, they're wrong. You know what I mean? They're even wrong on what they're saying. All right, so this is the Robert Parrish, again, another general comparison, right, about how Robert Parrish has more points than some of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. He's not a greater scorer, right? Why am I bringing this up again? I am pointing out that accumulation does not equal being better. You know what I mean? And they still can't follow along. All right, so let's go to this one now. Dude, this is such a good video. I'm so glad I did this. It took me a couple takes, but we got it. We got it rolling. All right, so we're doing the Robert Parrish now one. So you guys can check it. Reddit.com/r/NBA comments. YQ, whatever shit. Okay, so can we all see that? One, two. I think that's an LOYI. Don't confuse career totals with actual skill. That's ripped from what this is right here on his video. Yep, I mean, that's right. So let's go here. This is what I get. I mean, this isn't a troll, guys. Like, this is not a troll. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I get when I'm putting in their links. We can go down to the next one. You guys can't see it, but you will in a little bit. Reddit.com/r/NBA talk/comment/11E41G5/MJ_ versus LeBron league leader in advanced stats, right? Some kind of OnlyFans page that was deleted by the user. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I don't think old RNBA forums are getting like erased and replaced like that for the first three. What are the odds? I don't think that's happening.
And obviously y'all see the thumbnail. We're not going to talk about it right out the gate because of Originality.ai. Because on the podcast, Herb says, Lamont, you ran out of ideas. Unfortunately, to talk about Jordan in a conversation where you're supposed to be telling, they bundle up all of their bad talking points in one area.
Okay, so these are the first three sources that came across, and we all just checked them, and they're all dead. Or, again, this is where we're going back down the Tug rabbit hole right now. This is where the conspiracy theories come in. I'm just kidding. I'm sort of joking, but again, so according to Lamont on FYF, someone specifically, some kind of NBA fan who works at an AI company and deals in AI plagiarism tools and engines, saw the Goat James Kingdom FYF community. Again, we can call them LeBron fans. Is that okay? Or what have you? Because the implications I'm getting from this guy at Originality.ai is he's a bit of a Jordan hater. Or he's a LeBron fan. This specific video, the one that you've been sour about for years now, it just happened to be that one, and only the first opening minute. He didn't do anyone else. He just picked my opening 3 minutes, and it was because someone at Originality.ai said, hey, man, I don't think this NNB sports guy in this opening round of debate, I don't think he's being real. And so, dude, this is such a mind trip, dude. Like, if this whole thing is a put on, like, this whole thing feels like a put on now. This is why it took me a few takes to do this video. I literally got a step further and I was like, wait a minute, what's the next thing after this? And I kept going and digging and looking at what he was doing. And it was so funny is I replied to him that a response is coming because I knew I was innocent. I knew whatever this concoction he was cooking up was just totally fabricated, right? And you look at what my report looks like versus his, this sort of weird story about how a guy randomly at Originality.ai came to him specifically about this debate that, you know, he kind of mentioned, well, people care about this stuff and you got to be careful what you say. And it just also happened to coincide with someone at Originality.ai approaching me about this debate. I don't like being out on YouTube, that I have a vested interest in going the other way, the outcome of what it was. You know, all very like odd aligning of things happening here, right?
Yeah. And then they all use the same talking points. None of them have an original take. None of them.
This is what I mean by original. What do you want from me? Do I have to go find some obscure Jordan stat no one's heard of? You know, like in the fourth quarter on the West Coast, within 5 minutes, if the game was in single digits, Jordan had a 3-point percentage from the corner after 3 passes had been made before that of 55%. It's incredible average. Now let's get back to why I think on the basics of why I think Jordan is better than LeBron, right? Like it's just this is all a coat, man. I'm beginning to think this whole thing is made up. That's how crazy it was. What started out as well, they don't understand the difference between debating and plagiarism, turned out to be like this big concoction they've got going here. That's just a total fabrication, I think. I think this is all made up. They pulled up some fake sites, a fake report. The report looks nothing like mine. Some shady story about a guy. Like, oh, guys, I can't be living this rent free. I cannot be living this rent free.
Them know how to talk about Jordan. None of them can tell you what made Jordan great, right? When you ask them about,
you're more than welcome to debate me. If I don't know my shit, right, you're more than welcome to debate me.
Jordan in the 80s, they can't tell you, right? They cannot tell you any of these things. They didn't watch. And this exposes it all, right? Because supposed Jordan fans, what they're ultimately doing.
Still all totally irrelevant. I mean, so what? I can't talk about Bird? Like Bird was before I was born, so I can't have an opinion on Bird and Magic or something?
Is as you can see here, they are literally.
I mean, you don't think I've watched 80s games? Do you know what I mean? Like the first of all, the plagiarism was bad, but now it's just a disrespect of just basic NBA knowledge, right? Just basic NBA games. Like people haven't watched the Sixers and the Lakers and the Knicks and the Celtics and the fucking Pistons. Just all go at it, man. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Literally running to Reddit pages to pull verbatim.
We went to the Reddit pages. I didn't see a whole lot. It was so funny is that I admit I pull stuff, but you can't even get that right. You're not even getting the charges right. You know what I mean? It's like it's completely funny. It's sort of like I'm sitting here like kind of just legally smoking a cigarette and you try to bust me for like smoking marijuana and I'm just like, nah, I'm just, I'm just making a debate, dude. I'm just beating you. I'm not doing anything illegal.
To literally pull verbatim, word for word, line by line text to use in debates on these platforms. It's one of the reasons why I created that book, the LeBron James Gold Encyclopedia. It's to dispel the narratives because people will huddle up in masses on Reddit pages.
And also you see here, like I added, even if this was a real thing, like I put in Dirk, Peja, Carmelo, Durant. So obviously like I'm just pulling names that are notable shooters who are better than Jason Kidd, but don't have as many made threes as him. I think Durant does now. Durant passed him up, but that's all the point is. That's the point. That's all it is. It's not any deeper than that.
Pages with thousands of people just to use these arguments because they do not have a sufficient argument of their own. As we go through more of these right here, LeBron James is not a better rebounder than David Robinson. Who thinks to say stuff like this? Like
again, he doesn't. This is what I'm saying. Where sometimes the reasons I don't like to debate certain people is they just don't get it. They don't understand how to follow a train of logic. What do you think that point was about? Again, if you're following what I'm trying to say in this debate, what am I trying to say here? LeBron has more rebounds than David Robinson. People on your side of the fence use the accumulation argument. That is the one I am trying to go after and attack and tear down. Because I don't think accumulation, my opinion, is not as important as your ultimate peak dominance as long as it was over a somewhat sustained period of time, like 5+ years, right? In terms of the GOAT conversation, if you can be put in that upper echelon of players. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are not getting the argument. It's not me who doesn't get it. It's not me who doesn't understand what I'm saying. It's not me reaching for shit I don't know. You are not following.
Where would this come from? Well, it comes directly from Reddit. In 11 full seasons, Jordan led the league in analytics 61 times. LeBron led 43 times.
Again, I believe I showed my work for this. Again, even if I read that somewhere, right? Even if I had read that somewhere, this is the document I made that big MJ versus LeBron analytics video on. I took all that shit and wrote it down myself. Okay? This is not AI. This is not pulled from Reddit. I did not download this anywhere. This was done over days of scouring Basketball Reference, going over all the things they had achieved and where, and all that kind of stuff. This is all the advanced analytics stuff. Game scores, playoffs, regular season, best, their peak, their average, right? Like, this is all right here. The All-Stars and all these other things I noted down here. I already showed you this, but so that's what I mean. Like, this is all a cope.
In 20 years. Where do you get that from? It's sourced directly, verbatim. It says exact plagiarism from Reddit. These are not real.
We went to these 3 websites and we saw what we saw.
Arguments.
Again, I don't know how Reddit works, so you guys can tell me, like, do Reddit forums change like that? They go from our NBA comments and someone can come in and just totally change it and delete all the comments and make it something else? I don't know of that. I think a page just, like a message board or a specific thing will just end, right? They'll just cut the comments off and that's it. I could be wrong.
These are arguments that they don't know how to talk about Jordan in a conversation where you're supposed to be telling us why Jordan is the better basketball player than LeBron. What are they doing? They're in the opening statement. They're just crying about LeBron, and in crying about LeBron,
see, the criticism is not us crying. You know what I mean? Me thinking MJ is better than LeBron is not crying.
That in and of itself isn't even authentic. It's all ripped directly from other sources, and it's not even changed. You're not even adding it to your.
And one more thing about the kid thing. I also said that in my video. I used it again in the analytics video because it's such a good point, along with like the Frank Gore and Barry Sanders comparison. And I am pretty sure I originally heard that in a video. So I'm giving up where I thought I got it from, whether it be Reddit or not. I don't even think the Reddit page is real. I got it from when I can remember. Someone brought up the Barry Sanders and Frank Gore topic, and I was like, holy shit, you know, like, that's crazy. And I never thought about it. Well, I mean, of course I thought about it like that, but it was a good glaring example of the point I'm trying to make, correct? So that's where I heard it, and that's where I originally got the idea of, like, looking up all-time totals versus some of the greats who just didn't put up the total numbers, right? And Jason Kidd on the all-time three-point list is one of the, like, big anomalies of the NBA all-time stats, right? He's not a pure shooter. He didn't even really take a lot of threes, right? But yet he played so long and he made at least enough of them, right? He wasn't, I guess, like, the most horrible shooter if you left him open. You know, like, so you look at that, and if anyone didn't know ball, they would say, wow, Jason Kidd, one of the greatest shooters of all time. And if you know ball, you'd probably say, not so fast. I'm not trying to dog him, but when you say one of the greatest shooters of all time, we need to clarify this a little bit here if you know anything about the game, right? That's the point, right? So whether I pulled it Reddit, I heard it from a video, doesn't really matter.
Your own organic take. You're not even telling us how this information.
By the way, you thinking that LeBron is the best, or let's just make the argument for the LeBron guys, right? The charitable argument, like they think LeBron is the best because he has done so much, he's accumulated so much. That's not an original argument either. You don't think people were saying that about Kareem or Bill Russell and other people like that before that, about how much they had accumulated over a long period of time and the totals they had, and that's why they're the greatest? Like, your argument for LeBron is 40 years old minimum.
Translates into Jordan being a better player. Crazy right here. We can keep going through it. Jordan had 19 first First team selections in 11 years. LeBron 18 and 20. Again, that's ripped directly from an.
So this is where I'm telling you about the original chat transcript. So this was the original report, right? This is the whole first debate, just kind of tidied up, making sure everything looks good, right? Like I just made sure that when instead of saying like he, that it's like Michael Jordan or LeBron, it's like it's a more like definitive thing. So this right here, Jordan had 19 first team selections in 11 years. LeBron had 18 and 20. What I wrote was, or what I said was, as said, Jordan and his dominance had 19 first team selections in 11 years compared to LeBron's 18 first team selections in 20 years. If we use all NBA averages for their careers, Michael Jordan still averages more NBA selections overall for his 13 years than LeBron does for his 20. So, again, this is just like basic knowledge of stats and things they've done. I mean, is that plagiarism? I don't know. Can I not look at how many All-NBA selections he has and divide it by the number of years he played? I mean, I think I could do that, right? So I think you can do that for LeBron as well. But this is what I actually put. This is what is actually in the chat transcript. It's this entire line right here, right? If you look at that, that's a much bigger sentence than what they put, which is this. Jordan had 19 first-team selections in 11 years. LeBron had 18 and 20. That's totally different. I know it's similar. I know it's the same topic, but you see how they've simplified it. Now, what are the odds that an AI program could pick that up? Much easier. There's less words. It's more succinct. The stats that they're saying are much more like matter-of-factly, right? It's not, there's no, again, I went on to make on the assertion that on average, Jordan was making more All-NBAs like per his career. Again, to signify his dominance for when he played his peak. He just was at a higher average on so many things, even the advanced analytics, which I made a video on. But again, they do this by the way, this is all throughout this thing, right? They've taken what I've actually said in the video, the chat logs, the chat transcript, which I showed you, which was this long, and then they dumb it down and they make it this long. And then not only that, I can't say he had X amount of for all NBAs. They made it so it says Jordan. You know what I mean? They're making it very specific and dumbed down, which is, again, you want an efficient use of trying to find this stuff. You want the odds of a hit to go up. Then you would simplify it and make it very direct and succinct and exact. These are not the chat transcripts. They did not run this through. Again, unless this guy ran it through somehow. Again, he ran it through and he himself dumbed it down for them. And so he's saying, hey, when he says this is okay. But then what is this? Like, what is this then when I run it through? And this is actually what the chat transcript from YouTube is, and it finds nothing. This is the Originality.ai. Like, you can see it here. I paid for it, baby. We went all the way. Let's keep going.
Article in Fadeaway World. LeBron played 55.
An article in Fadeaway World. Holy shit, Nick pulled info from an article in Fadeaway World. Ooh.
Percent. It says LeBron played 55% more playoff series than Jordan, but Jordan faced more 50-win teams. That
is one of the most common talking points I've heard. You know, and again, I'll bring it down one more time. Bring it down one more time. I believe somewhere in here. Yeah, like I even have here like what their opponents average, their finals that they went up against. Let's see. There was the other one. Was it this one? Yes, breaking down the opponents they played. 50-win teams. Do you see this? This is all stats I manually put in, going through their playoffs, how they shot, the wins on the teams they got. Do you understand? Like, this is what I'm saying. I'll show my work. I do the work. I do the due diligence. You know what I mean? These guys are just mad that I can do that kind of stuff like 3 times faster and not waste as much time, show up, wreck shop, and leave. And then this is like their whole legacy, right? This is their whole thing. And here's some dude in a fucking stupid hat just coming on, wrecking shop, and going and eating ice cream afterwards.
Literally line by line, exact plagiarism, also sourced from Reddit, and it provides the links.
Let's look at this link. This is the other link. I just pulled up live right now, or not live, but like while I'm literally recording this. I don't know. I don't know what to say to this now. Like, I don't know if I'm totally just being bullshitted here, which makes for good video either way. I'm glad I did the video and I'm clearing my name. But I just put in this other Reddit one. Let's look up the Fadeaway World one too. So, again, are we mad that I came here for a snapshot of like to write down real quick or whatever it is? Like I guess I just don't understand like where you get off thinking this is plagiarism. For a debate. Again, if I wrote a thesis paper about LeBron versus Jordan, yes, I need to cite all my work, correct? Fair enough. We're talking about a live YouTube debate. Anyways, let's keep going. So that's now, look, if you want to say the Fadeaway World one, whatever, fine. That's now four Reddit links, nothing. And the Fadeaway World one, man, like I gotta tell you, like that's really a nothing burger.
Is absolutely ridiculous. We can keep going because it literally broke everything down. Jordan is the better two-way player, has more DPOYs and steals per game.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't want to look up any more foreign Reddit links. If these are real ones and all that shit, then fine, I guess.
What it's doing is it's taking the sentence structure.
All right, I'll do one more because I gotta fucking clear my name here. All right, here we go. So what is this one? Reddit.com/RNBA/comments. What do we get? Oh, another dead website. Or another dead address. Or not working, not the right one. I don't know what to say about the Reddit comments, man. You would think one would be a right one, right? And again, he's pulling this off a document that looks nothing like this. So, again, I could just be getting played here from the beginning. But, again, if he's going to try to come back and say this is all a joke or a troll.
Right? Sometimes when we say these things, like, for example, Herm might say something to that degree, but the sentence structure is going to be completely different. How odd is it that he's saying these things?
But I'm not. I just ran this exact same fucking thing through the AI and nothing came up. All right, so now you might be saying, well, they did change. Technically, okay, we admit or whatever that they kind of changed what the actual chat transcript was so that it could better fit an AI algorithm and be found. Okay, we admit they kind of fucked that up, but I guess the point would be that they're trying to say these points you've pulled off other places. So how about this? How about we go, and for these right here, these ones, word for word, I put them into the Originality AI, just like they did. And I think the last one we want is, well, anyways, you could see here how I put them all in. Well, I guess I can't point with the screen. I put them all in. They're all totally fine. Every single one. By the way, I did one on a Johnny. Just to be fair, I went through and did a Johnny's opening round as well. Just to be fair, because I honestly, I didn't think a Johnny's would be wrong either. I just thought this program is, whatever he showed me is not what the actual program is. But he got a higher match than I did on his opening round than what mine was. I think I had 5%, not a big difference, you know what I mean? But even he has this one, which is like the same as mine or when I ran it through, whatever. Anyways. So then I thought, well, yes, here we go. Let's, word for word what he has in these, essentially. So now I'm trying to get a little more exact, right? And I'm putting exactly what he has here. You see these lines? Or actually, I just did a few. Which one was it? Oh, yeah, so the Jason Kidd, I did that one. You can see it here. Jason Kidd has more threes. Robert Parrish one. And so I ran them all kind of like he did. And I ran them again. And it was 100% fine. Like, word for word, like so... What, I don't even know what we're doing here. You know, like, I don't even know. Here's like the plagiarism check, just so we're all seeing. No matches for those. This is word for word off what he's showing me on this screen right now. This right here. Nothing. And it's no links. These links don't work. I don't know, man. This just comes off really shady. That's why I was so excited to do this video, because I have nothing to hide. I'll tell you guys exactly what I do. I've already told you, right?
Is exact plagiarism from Reddit. These are not real.
We already saw this. I backed
Enjoy
it up.
one sentence, links, every those are completely different. How I
And so here's what's funny is because he sort of understands how the Originality.ai works, because if you notice,
like tough word by
yeah, they do like this. They do the yellow, which then means, if you saw in these, right? Like they have like these levels, if you can kind of see around my shoulder, they have levels that say, oh, well, exactly how long or what are the odds of some of this stuff being, you know what I mean? They're color coded. So he knew enough about that, and it's like he just put in enough work to make that look real. But this ain't how it's coming out on my end, man. I don't know what to tell you, and I'm not coming up with the same answers that you got, unless you're the guy you talk to has some special Originality.ai. And I ran it through both the light edition and the turbo edition. I don't know what the difference is. I ran it through both of those. For some of them, nothing changed.
word by word.
I don't know,
And then Jordan has 7 of
this
the
is a bad
top
look,
15
in my
value
opinion.
over replacement
Again, I don't
seasons.
give a shit.
Also,
It's his legacy.
sourced directly
He wants to chase me
from
over that
Reddit.
He wants to chase me over that
word,
fucking LeBron video from over a year, and he's still
plagiarism.
sour about
now
it,
we
dude.
have now as we progress through this, there are also elements of partial plagiarism.
So sweet,
effective
dude.
field goal
It's so
percentage comes
sweet.
down to more 3-point attempts. Partial plagiarism. When he said PER stats is a stat that shows Jordan.
Look at this one. Look at this YouTube one. Jordan went through tougher competition, more All-NBA and MVPs per series. Okay. And? Is it true? No? Did I say something wrong? This guy made a good point. I put it in my debate. Don't see the issue. Let's look up the YouTube video. Because it's funny, because I mean, there's tons of you. If you guys really want to know, I mean, I used, there was 2 really good MJ. One was like an MJ versus LeBron, and one was simply an MJ video, and they're sort of saying interesting stats and stuff. Like, dude, there's so many good resources out there. I don't even know what you want me to say. Again, they're acting as if like you have to be you have to debate like Jay-Z. Like everything has to be off the dome original when you step in the booth or whatever. I know I'm just making a silly example. That's the rumor, right? That's his reputation. You know, like, it's like you have to be like that with all kinds of debates and whatever. And it's like, the thing is, I shoot the shit too. I go off the cuff and the hip. But for a debate, man, like, I'm not sure what you're wanting from me. Like, it just comes off like you're sad. Or you're mad, I mean. YouTube.com/watch. You know what I mean? I'm just not sure what to say. I mean, again, this is the link, just so you guys can see it. That's the link that's on his video, you know? I'm just wondering if he just made it all up or what. I don't even know. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you.
Produce more per minute. Partial plagiarism. Jordan went through tougher competition. And this AI is so...
This just feels like a hit piece, doesn't it? It just feels like a hack job of a hit piece. Like, it's not well done. It's kind of... Its origins are very suspicious. The randomness of it. The motivation is clearly here. You know what I'm saying? You've kind of already admitted that things like this matter in your community or whatever, the NBA debate bro community.
Powerful. All 3 of those takes came from the same YouTube video. That link is right here on the PDF, man. Oh, my bad, y'all. Let me put that back. Let me put the PDF back up. Let me get the loot. We got man. Hold on, my screen. Let me zoom in a little bit more. These YouTube links. We got more things. Jordan.
He never showed it. He never showed the YouTube. He has not shown a single link.
Never needed to team up like LeBron to win.
I mean, again, this is one of the things where I feel like maybe I'm fucking up the links, like, but I've tried several. I did the YouTube one just like it was. You know what I mean? I just, Again, I reserve the right to say that maybe I fucked up the links. Again, it doesn't really change anything, to be honest. Even if all those links were true and I pulled comments from the comment section and put it in my thing, but we ran it through the AI checker and it didn't come up with anything. Do you understand? Like, something has got to give here. One of these things is not adding up with the other. So this was that link that he had on there. Let me try another combination. Maybe I got it wrong. YouTube.com/watch. Just doesn't exist. Notice he hasn't clicked on any links yet. All right, I wanted to come back. I'm doing the editing, right? And I just happened to watch this scene again with him clicking on that link, and he quickly says like, "Oh, my bad." And it just clicked to me, right, that he knows, it feels like he knows this is bullshit, right? That link doesn't work. He knows the other links don't go anywhere. He never clicked on anything. And watching it back the second time when I was editing it, he definitely clicked on that link accidentally. He never tried to re-pull the video back up when he said, "Oh, my bad," or like, "Let's see the video," or anything like that. He just quickly went off screen, you know what I mean? And then he never brought it back up again. He never clicked on a link, right? Like, when I looked back at it, to me, that was like the giveaway of like total bullshit, in my opinion. Again, I could be wrong. I keep saying I could be wrong. Maybe the links or whatever, they're hyperlinked to something else, even though the address is different. I can give him all the benefits of the doubt here. But I just saw that part and it came off really shady. Like he knew that link wasn't gonna work and he had to get it off screen real quick, and then he never went back. You know what I'm saying? Or he never opened any of the links, not one. So I had to say that real quick.
They considered unique is still directly tied to Reddit and YouTube videos. So we got to.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you came out clean in the AI checker, that means they wouldn't link it to anything, from what I understand, right? I don't know.
Give credit to him for at least coming with Goat James Kingdom.
But even that wouldn't be original by his standards. It's still saying I got these original talking points from somewhere in Reddit, so it makes no sense.
Is correct. How to talk the game. They don't know how to, and this is all ties directly into my book as well. Right. But let me take you guys away from this right here. So let me give you guys the full
you see his hand? His hand was hovering over the link and he didn't click it.
Report from Originality.ai. So if you go to their website, and you guys can do this on your own. What I want you to do is you can go to that video on Goat James Kingdom channel. You can go, there's a side menu where it says transcript. You can go to the transcript. You can copy and paste the entire transcript, and you can put from NNB Sports. You can put it into the originality checker.
Would it look something like
Originality.ai, and this is what you will get,
bro.
Right? Because I went and double checked it myself. So when you go right to the website, again, all you do is you copy and paste, and you put the text in. And when you put the text in, what does it say? It says the exact thing that the report says: 71% average plagiarism, minor changes, 5%. I mean, it's just crazy. 71%. It says right here, high plagiarism level in his opening statement. I can't imagine if we did his entire, if we just ultimately did his entire.
So I don't know what this is, because this looks like, okay, so I don't know what this is right here, what he's got on screen, but now this looks like it incorporates some other, right, some other things, and it looks like he's on some kind of free trial thing. Like, maybe some big brain can tell me, but if I was trying to get someone to buy my service, and again, this is the plagiarism, right, which I think is mainly Originality.ai. That's who the sponsor was or whatever. You know, if I was trying to sell a product to someone, I would tell them that there's a problem to be fixed on the free trial. You know what I mean? So again, Originality.ai and whatever this is ain't the same, right? And so I'm not sure what this is that he's pulling up. If that's where he got his report, maybe that's it. But I would like to see which one it was, and perhaps I don't even know what website this is, I guess.
You know, debate. 71% plagiarism in your opening is wild. And it all stems from what, Go James Kingdom? It all stems from just hating LeBron. If you just talk about Michael Jordan.
There it is, right?
And if you just focus on what you're supposed to be talking about in the topic, you don't get there.
And so, like, it's kind of funny too. Look at this thing. Try our plagiarism remover. Get 100% unique text with 0% plagiarism. Maintain the original meaning. Choose a desired level of paraphrasing. In other words, just kind of like make it your own. Like, no shit, bro. That's what I was doing in the debate.
You know? So again, salute to the people at Originality AI. They do a hell of a job of really checking these things, fact checking things.
I agree, dude. Brother, I agree. I mean, this is how they all came out. You know what I mean? Every single one. Here, I can open a few more. There's this one. As you can see with this one, I just did the more basic. Well, I was trying to be more and more exact. Oh, that one didn't. I just didn't do that one. That one fucked up. Forgot to put stuff in there. See, like, I was getting even more and more exact. Like, trying to be more and more detailed. And I got an even higher score. This is for the exact things, word for word, that he has on that document. Word for word on the document, run through a paid for by plan with Originality.ai. For like the full service to run it. Nothing.
For the people, you guys, make sure you go to Originality.ai, right? Originality.ai. Use the code FYF Sports to get 4 free months of service. 4 free months of service before you have to pay. If you're a student, if you're a content creator, if you're a writer, right? If you want to make sure that everything that you do, or your students or whoever, is original, use Originality.ai. They're the top in the game. As y'all can see, even things that are put out on video can be cross-referenced and checked, right? Don't find yourself caught up in a web of fraudulent activity. Make sure you go.
Guys, I'm on the run for reposting Jordan and LeBron talking points.
Go to Originality.ai.
I've committed fraud.
To make sure that you are being authentic and original with your basketball takes, especially.
Define authentic and original. It means you can't have heard them anywhere else.
Especially your basketball takes, right? Do not rip from Reddit. Do not rip from Fadeaway World. Those are not credible sources when it comes to talking a game of basketball.
And again, I'm not here. I am not going to those places to get my ideas, right? I am going there to get facts and stats to back up what I want to say. I don't have every stat on hand. I mean, actually, this kind of goes to what he's saying is like, I talk ball. I don't really get into the weeds of stats, but in a debate, you have to bring as much ammo as possible, right? And so it's the other way around. I'm going here to cement my argument, not to make it for me. Not because I can't come up with anything on my own, but it's because maybe I want to be like, what was Jordan's points per game against the Suns that year in the finals or whatever? Like, even if I hear something somewhere, you always go to Basketball Reference or NBA.com or ESPN or whatever, right, to double check anything you're putting out on paper, right? Because I hear or see something interesting that perhaps either I haven't heard before or it makes a good argument for what I'm trying to argue, then I'm more than okay putting it on there, and I don't apologize for it. No one else should. It's exactly what you should do.
In some cases, those resources can give you additional information to supplement your talking points.
Well, if you listen to my argument, you would know what I was saying.
Do not use that information as your own.
See, this is where I think he has a misunderstanding of what plagiarism actually is. And so essentially what he's mad at is citations here with me. He's mad that when I say a certain stat in the debate, I'm not like, see exhibit 2.A. As you can see, I referenced Basketball Reference here as terms of the stats. You know, like, that's essentially what he's mad at. He's not, again, I'm not wrong. In this entire video, no one's ever said I'm wrong about the things I've said. So when I'm in a debate, I'm not plagiarizing anything. There's nothing to plagiarize in a debate. Unless you're just factually wrong, then you are wrong in the debate. But to come to a debate, use talking point, even wholeheartedly, rip straight from the internet, as long as it is conducive to the argument, you know, and it is supplementing what you're saying, which is, I mean, what's the difference here between me using things on the internet to supplement and then you just thinking they're making my entire argument? Again, no one wrote that Microsoft Word document for me, right? It was to supplement what I was doing.
Arguments. That is called plagiarism. You're supposed to just use it as a supplement. And what you're also supposed to do is you're supposed to cite your sources.
Okay, if you want me to cite sources before a debate, well, fine. This is what I mean. This is such a little weasel video. It's so meek it's such like I can't even, it's so childish, right? Essentially what this all boils down to is that he wants my citations before the debate. Is that what you want? You want citations? You want me to give you citations so you feel better and so you can go double check it? Well, it's funny because I can more than happily do that for you. And it's funny because when I went to the shit you had on your doc that you never even clicked, you didn't click on one link on that thing. And I went to all of them and nothing. There was nothing there. So like it's really quite amazing you getting onto me about citing work. I've written thesis papers. All right. I've been to college and all that stuff. I'm more than happy to cite work for you if you would like. If that really is what meets your standards of an online debate for you to make it acceptable and official, then fine, man, if that's how you want it. But you're just mad
So that
because you lost, man. This is all this is. It's just sour grapes. Maybe you thought I wouldn't make this video. I don't know.
do not get doxxed for plagiarism. Salute to the people at Originality.ai for coming through. And that even ties in directly with, the book, that ties in directly with the book, man. The LeBron James.
Please, in this book, you're more than welcome to cite my debate and tell me where I was wrong in your book.
GOAT encyclopedia, man.
Wait. I am not allowed to go to other places, pull information, like Reddit or whatever, right? But you're gonna make an encyclopedia, a nice one-stop shop for all people to come and get their LeBron ideas, bro. Like the irony and the absolute just humility of this video from FYF and Lamont is just fucking, all of it is priceless all the way around. Essentially what this video boils down to is like, I don't like that you're able to get facts from around the internet and beat us in debates. That is literally what it boils down to. And then like, I want to try and use some technicality of like, I need your citations before the debate, or the facts that are actually still the facts don't count. Like, come on, man. This is a huge coat, man. And then here he is pushing the LeBron encyclopedia. What is that other than like what a kind of like a book form of, I don't know, maybe things like Fadeaway World and Reddit, but for LeBron in a nice one-stop shop. So now everyone can get weaponized and go debate people like me and still get their ass kicked. All right, dude.
LeBron James GOAT encyclopedia is the paperback version is available, man. It is readily available for you guys to go get today. Make sure you go get your time. And also, what's even better, the paperback version is out, right? It's to combat people like
this is a 2-hour video. If y'all watch,
there were a lot of people in the
it.
comments. This book, let's just get that confused. I don't care. Is to combat all of the. This book,
let me hear this,
is not to convince you that LeBron is the GOAT. Okay. Let's just get that confused. I don't care who your GOAT is.
I kind of beg to differ because you didn't write a book on anyone else. You wrote a encyclopedia book on LeBron James. So you picked him for a reason. I think you do want this book to be out there for people to use it in debates and things like that against people like me.
This book is to combat all of the myths and the narratives that people like NNB Sports use to try to convince you.
Distinction without a difference.
You that LeBron James is not great or the GOAT. Because so it's in reverse. So a lot of people think.
So the argument can only go one way. We can't go back in reverse. Like they're allowed to do it in reverse, but we can't do it the way we were originally doing it.
Oh, you're trying to convince people LeBron is the GOAT. I don't care where you rank LeBron, because it ultimately all comes down to your criteria and how you see the game. But when we talk about LeBron James, in this book, there are over 100 myths destroyed. Over 100 myths destroyed. Real.
Bro, how much you want to bet all of those myths are like opinions? Essentially, he said like, oh, how you pick your GOAT is like up to your criteria. How much you want to bet all these myths are just based on what he thinks are myths, right? I bet a lot of them.
Stats, real quotes, real.
You should, hey, Hey, look, you should send me a book. Let me review it.
Real truth.
I'll give you an
Right?
honest
One
review.
line kill shots for every argument. This is a weapon.
So, like, in other words, it's going to be like, oh, well, actually, he left Cleveland for XYZ, or like, oh, well, even though we all say like, well, he's chasing rings and he teamed up with other people, he's going to say, oh, well, no, it's because, this and that. And, it's like, it's up to your opinion on, I bet, most of this stuff, like myths and things like that. If it's not hard data, like if it's not hard facts, then it's a kind of opinion.
That's why it says weaponized truth for the debate era, right? What you can do is you can use my book. You can cite my book. You can cite the court. You can cite things in my book. You can cite the source and use this to support what you already think and know.
It was so funny is that technically what he has on his end, what he claims to be like the report of all the things, I mean, is that nothing more than just a citation of where I got all of my things to put in my debate from your point of view? So, I mean, you're just mad I didn't give you those citations? It seems that's really what it boils down to.
About LeBron James, right? But when people...
Which, by the way, no one gives citations for the most part unless we're doing some real kind of official debate and, like about something like, religion or science or some kind of other bigger topic, right? Like, and it's a big debate people are waiting on to make it very official. Like, no one in NBA debates is passing over like citations beforehand. And again, everyone is welcome to go back through my debates and prove me wrong on any of the things I've said in terms of the data or whatever. I'm waiting. I haven't had anybody do it yet.
People like NNB Sports who source all their information from Reddit and Fadeaway World.
Lamont Lane's GOAT Encyclopedia is way different than Reddit.
As you see, they all huddle up in one Reddit thread just to put together a whole bunch of myths.
The Reddit threads that didn't work.
And narratives about LeBron. And then when they all spread out amongst the masses to go debate, those are the talking points that they use. This book literally debunks them all. It debunks them all. The link to buy your book, remember the paperback and the hardback is available now. And I also have to give you guys a big shout out as well, because the book is now ranked amongst the best sellers on Amazon. We are now cracked the top 200. We have cracked the top 200 in sports encyclopedias and basketball. Features the book. It's a that is now look people on Amazon. Go get your copy today. This book is debunks people like Mark S. Mark S was on that same with these inauthentic.
See, the reason why I think this might all be fake and a ruse in that report that he showed is because, like, these guys love clickbait shit. Like, they did that Russell Westbrook's going to Europe or something. They, like, essentially said that was a confirmed deal when there was nothing out on the internet about it. And that's kind of been put on the back burner. It might end up happening, right? But they came out and said it had to happen. Like, they wanted to be the first to announce it and get ahead of it. And, like, again, if it's clickbait and all that shit, then fine. But over time, doing stuff like this will ruin your credibility, right?
Authentic, fake, narrative-based arguments. Bro, no. Being a bestseller is not sad. The real Eleazy. Are you mad that I blew up y'all Reddit spot?
Oh, so he can blow up Reddit spots, but I can't search him. By the way, like, props to him on the book, and like this is what I mean. Where these guys put a lot of work into their channels. I'm not even hating on that. They're just mad that I research better, debate better. I just walk on and walk off, and like this is how much work they put into this shit. You know what I mean? And I'm just a dude on the internet who just fucking mows over people in debates, and they don't like that.
Real Eleazy, because I saw your profile in there. I saw in spot y'all in that Reddit thread. Because I saw your profile in there. I saw NNB profile in that Reddit thread.
100% false. I don't think I've ever commented on Reddit. I'm almost 1,000% sure. I'm really trying to think if I've ever commented on Reddit. I don't think I have. I'm really trying to think. Because, I mean, like, if I got on an RNBA thread, I might say something, but it'd be very few and far between. This sounds like he's saying something like I was in there, like consistently or commenting. Again, I want proof. We're waiting for a single shred of proof. All the bullshit he showed has not amounted to a hill of beans yet. And again, saying he saw me in a Reddit thread, no screenshots. I live this rent free. You didn't take a screenshot and record it and want to show everybody. I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Thread. Are you mad that we blew up y'all Reddit spot? Y'all the spot where y'all huddle up in masses and congregated with all of these
For real, like I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm being 100% honest. I've never been on like not never been. I've never commented on Reddit. I've seen some funny things on Reddit. People have shown to me, like I do research. Sometimes there's some good forums on fixing your car or this video game or that video game, right? So like, sure, I've been on Reddit. But yeah, this whole thing, I would love to see some screenshots and some proof. You know, if that really happened, I would love to see it.
narratives about LeBron James. We blew up the spot. Y'all can't no longer use that Reddit thread. Y'all can't. This book debunks the narratives and the myths.
I'm confused, I guess,
get
with
that
that.
there are things that LeBron James deserve some level of scrutiny, but absolutely make no sense at. I mean, y'all are now LeBron destroys your team.
Kathleen Kennedy, that's kind of funny.
$500 million.
I think we're off me now, so
his career is already basically over. Yeah, but man, very selective. We can breeze through originality, identify. You know, you have
Go James Kingdom change the GOAT debate. I don't know, dude. I wiped the floor with all of y'all, so I don't even know what y'all are talking about. But anyways, that's my video. It's 2 hours long, guys. If you watched, I appreciate it. It was an epic takedown. I don't know what's going on over there at FYF, man. I think I live rent free. They're mad. They're mad your boy got them and continues to get them and doesn't even try a tenth of what they do. And they just can't seem to pin me down, man. They're trying to get me. And I just keep moving. Just keep moving along. Just keep moving along. All right, but that's it. It's 2 hours, man. I think it was worth it, right? So again, your boy's name got dragged. He brings up this sort of weird sponsorship story. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. The report looks different than mine. I run the same things through. I'm not getting the same results. I go and I checked like 6 or 7 links. None of them work. None of them are viable. He doesn't click on a single link on his thing that he does. This boils down to the fact that he's just mad I didn't cite work in a debate, which no one does for an NBA debate or basketball debate, right? I have no problem citing work. You know, I know how that works. You know, I don't think you do, but that's fine. But again, he deflects. He says, oh, well, the Originality.ai guy wanted to do it. I didn't want to do this video. That's all bullshit, dude. Like, this is sour grapes, and I love it, and it tastes so fucking good, man. Like, it's funny because, like, I just do the Sunday live streams, man. I'm kind of chilling. I got stuff going on. And these guys are over here fuming about a debate that was like a year and a half ago. And it's quite funny, man. They can have me on anytime, baby. Anytime y'all are ready. Just let me know what the topic is, what we're debating, and I'm down. So if y'all stayed this long, I appreciate it. It's a good one. It's a long one, I know. But thank you.